Eve paints.
Hey folks, welcome to another 3D printing Patreon preview. I have 122 campaigns to share with you today. Before we start, my own Kickstarter campaign, Base Bashing Volume 1, is going pretty well. I finished up the 9th set of bases and movement trays, Ancient Stones, with a few old weathered obelisks, and am now working on getting magnet holders into them all. There's still 11 days left, so I'm going to try and get a couple more sets of simple bases in there too, if I can. Link in the description. Quick content warning, some of these campaigns contain pinup style models. I've left a link in the description to a video discussing why that needs a content warning. That said, let's get started. First up, this is the latest Demon Mini from Iconic Minis, and it's a free download. From Miniatures by Ace, here's a Demon Lord. Omega Head Studios has a Chibi Thor model this week. Here are a couple Gomazoa from Stormcrow. WTH Studios has a Young Blue Dragon and a Hell House out this week. For Labyrinth Models' first release, they have a Witch's Coven and their Thralls. Dungeon Dog Miniatures has a Horror Butcher's Table. La Louve 3D has 4 Strigoi, tortured souls risen from the grave. Two Moronic Miniatures has a Great Big Dragon, as well as Labyrinth Guardians of the Great God Pan. This is the Pale One from the Aramu Project. This fun fellow is part of Zombie Smith's upcoming October release. Here is a Star Beast from the Surreal Factory, inspired by early Alien concept art. From KLT Studio, here is Bobby Yogi, the Tank Witch. This is Shenzu, the Martial Master, or Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, from Miniatures Blueprint. Channel patron Lost Heresy has finished up work on this big chap, a Dark Wood Troll. Here's a work-in-progress Dino Monster coming from Print, Paint, and Play. Art of Mike's October release is Female Desert Raiders. Red Clay Collectibles has Loxodons. I'd show you more images, but they were 12,000 by 8,000 pixels, and my computer said no. From Your Neighbor Night Minis, here is a Headmistress and a Chained Dragon. Realm Gate Studio has a squad of Cannoneers with several different weapon options. Savant 3D's new set is called Bridge in the Vaults of the Old World, with a couple free objects included. Here's a look at Celia Miniatures' September release, as well as a peek at what's to come. Here are 3 new minis from Random Miniatures, a Wendigo, an evil robot cowboy, and the majestic Viper Lord. Misk Boy Mini has 4 elementals and their Genasi this month. Dragon's Lake Miniatures has added a Dark Elf football team to their October set. Polygrim is working on Frogfolk this month. Here's some dwarfs, more deck crew, and some Umanoi from Bob Naismith. Here's the latest model from Arcanum Workshop, a Wraith King on a Great Dragon. Similar to last week's Khopesh Cruiser from Starpharaoh Foundry, this Khopesh Carrier replaces some weaponry with a portal device. This appears to be a Necromancer and his Undead from Black Crag Miniatures. Here's a Goblin Thief or Assassin by Claudio Cassini Art, as well as the Pumpkin King. Fable Table's Missile Tank is coming along nicely. August McDaniel has a Gaslands gun and a pile of rubble this week. From Sculptuner, here's a Barbarian from Diablo 2. Mecha Miniatures has made us some Modula Killa cans this month, just in time for October. Here's a new mech and some tanks from Lilalian Industrial Complex for September, and 2 new mechs to start off October. These Mechron Slashers and Impalers are by Extra Guy. Stonehaven Miniatures has 4 constructs for adventurers and 2 frogs for their October release. Nova Minis is releasing a tribe of frog folk this month. Red Nebular is working on Forest Orcs with Chomp Hoppers, as well as a couple Puglins, including a Tank Commander. Here's 3 zombies from Vault Z, and Rambo to gun 'em all down. Valkyrie's Playground has Stormblade Exterminators, and lipped bases with magnet holders. Mr. Friendly Hedgehog here by Naga Minis is actually a warlock, so watch your back. This is Alexos, the Wolf, from the City of Eros by Legend Builds. This superhero landing striker is the first mini from Puppets War Miniatures' new Patreon campaign. The Leon Heavy Infantry by Orc King were so good at their jobs that they just refused to die, which only seems to have made them more effective. Legion Miniatures has some big boys for you this month, including Juggernaut from X-Men. Here are all the gods and heroes that Village's Hope Miniatures have put out this month. Here are test renders and prints of Tiny Furniture Digital's Dark Masters Reading Corner, coming in October. It's October over at My 3D Print Forge, with a Direwolf riding Warboss, a Shaman, and others, with more to come. A monk named Sunana and an Arakokra named Sutin Ra are the 2 releases from Heroes and Beasts Miniatures this month. Horrorscapes is 3D Hex's theme for their September release, with a bunch of gnarly old statues and ruins. September's Hero Commissar from Surrogate Miniatures is Victoria the Faceless Voran. These Armored Mystical Warriors and Forest Showdown with Display Base are by Studio DR. Here is a Mind Flayer, a Venom bust, and a Harpy by Creature Armory. This is Lexi from Bella Noct Miniatures, available as a bust or 75mm statue. This Ratfolk Siege Engine by Cult Miniatures is nearing completion. A new rendering style and a work-in-progress model from channel patron The Dork Factory. They're looking for a name for the model on the left, so head over to their campaign page and leave your suggestions. Here are some simple box, barrel, and bag objective markers from Sable Badger. These piqueros are coming in October from Fantasy Cult Miniatures. Ilhadiel has a Hydra/Abyssal Beast model, as well as mounted Dark Elf Warlocks. This is an undetailed work-in-progress Bone Vulture from Drunk Mago's Cellar. The Black Goat of the Woods, the Luminous Moth, and a bunch of little sucklings of Shub are previews from Void Realm Mini's October release. This is Trish, a work-in-progress third model for October from Hell Creator. Turn-Based Miniatures has a gang of bikers and a militia with truck-mounted LMGs. This is The Better Painmaker by Imperatum Art. Warplock Miniatures is showing off Part 2 of their Undead Pirates release, coming in October. The assault on Sycorax seems to be heating up. Crucible of Games has multiple squads they're sending in, as well as a tower, bases, and some accessories. Fleshcraft Studio is finishing up their Gravelord season with their fourth entry, including the Ashen Council, Modular Henchman, a Hero, and the Sacrificial Pit. Wake's Emporium has a large pack of Xenos sneaking through their facilities this month. Free minis from Capsule Chibi this week include the Ocean Cat, their streaming mascot, and Vin from Mistborn. Here are a few new previews of Goonmaster Games' Spooky Town release. More previews of Claybeast Creations flyers for their Starscale army. From Big Mr. Tong, we have Zombie Spaceman, Gasland characters, and Blake's 7 Mutoids. Epic's End Stuffs has one last mini to fill out their September sets, a Turtle Ranger. Davale Games is working on a Spectral Chief for October, with both mounted and foot options. Knucklebones has a Cosmo Zombie, a Banner Bearer, the Tash Bagman, and is working on a tank. Ronin Arts Workshop has released full previews of their September set, as well as a sneak peek at their October models. Schlossbauer has a mystery monster this week, as well as the Quasit of Orcus and Ripley from Metroid. From Titan Troll Miniatures, here are previews of Bugbears and Busts, part of their October release. Alien Eggs and Death Valley Terrain are what Sarly Factory has in store for October. Anakin Solo leads the cast of characters joining Black Remnant's next release. Edge Miniatures has The Ugly and the Dangerous, as well as Snakefolk, part of their upcoming October release. Dice Heads are showing off previews of an armored rhino mounted monkey and multi-floor temple terrain. For their October release, Kyoshu Miniatures has Ronin versus Chinese Imperial Guard. Twin Goddess Miniatures has finished up their Halloween costume-wearing adventurers for October. Highcraft Miniatures has previews up for the Stag Clan, thieving little goblins that you'd better watch out for. Here are the first 3 minis from Vivictus Miniatures for October: Undead Soldiers. Red Pilgrim Miniatures is working on a squad of 5 guardsmen as the final entry in their September set. Monstrous Encounters has a set of Venom Troopers, as well as Undead HQ units, Skellies, Mummies, and Zombies. These previews for the Tribe of the Fallen Flame are part of the October release for Daybreak Miniatures. Heroes Infinite is doing Dark Fairy Tales for their Halloween release. Last Sword Miniatures have finished up work on their High King, Sea Guard, and a Saurian Monolith, all for their October release. The Mimic Lord Cometh from Rocket Pig Games, as well as a Dark Prayer Lord, previews for their October release. October teasers from Cobra Mode include Izanami, Spirit-Bound Ryujin, and Hagetaka, the Spectral Hanzaki. Here is Atlan Forge's newest model, the Minoan Therapo, an apothecary, as well as a sneak peek at a furry fellow for all you bear lovers out there. New October previews from Comet Lord Miniatures include the Headless Horseman, Chaos Toads, the Oracle of the Mad Architect, and more Chaos Toads. The final model from Great Grimoire's September release include a pianist and her favorite grand piano. Asgard Rising has 2 modular warbands this week, Cavalry and Archers, but they didn't give any close-ups of the components. October Preview Part 2 from Gamescape 3D includes more Fungi Forest, crates, barrels, and sacks, and a thatch-roofed barn. New models from Gear Guts' Mech Shop include Commando Grots, a big boss on a giant squig, and a truck with tank treads. Ritual Casting have completed Senua, the Hunted, and have released their final promo imagery of it. From Fotis Mint this month, we have a Dark Dryad bust. Done with despoilers for now, Forest Dragon is releasing ogres and harpies to reinforce your evil little armies. Looks like Unit 9 will be continuing with some of their tribal-themed minis that they released last month. Sometimes my search algorithm seems to skip people, and Clay Cyanide Miniatures is one. These previews for their September set, Arabian Nights, have been out for more than a month now. STL Miniatures has a double-sized Townsfolk set this month, as well as a nice set of Paladins for their second set. Here is a Demon Lord from Avatars of War, rising up on his powerful tail to rain hell from above. Bite the Bullet has completed their September release of Amazons. Full previews up now. The Panic at the Moorfrost Manor from Broken Anvil Monthly includes wraiths, demons, Kenku cultists, raccoon ghostbusters, a haunted carriage, and more. Highlands Miniatures has Skelly Soldiers for their October release, Transylvania, The Fallen Realm, with swords, spears, and a command squad. The Printing Goes Ever On have full previews up for their September set, Heroes of Rider Mercia, with king, court, cavalry, buildings, and a dragon. The Dragon Trapper's Lodge has a haunted pumpkin patch for their October release. May your blades stay sharp and your flesh on your bones. One Gold Piece has fearsome desert worms coming next month, and a group of desert gnomes trying to wrangle them. To finish off their second set for October, Underwater Mayhem, Epic Miniatures have Eyes of the Deep, Sharkfolk Warriors, Abyss Hulks, the Sea God Poseidon, Atlantean Knights, Ocean Terrors, Winged Sea Serpents, Leviathan, Marine Warriors, Shrimp Monks, Swordfish, and Sea Folk Brutes and an Alpha. For their surprise Halloween set, they bring a beer-holding Eye Tyrant, a band of Skelly musicians, the Ripper. This Draco Lich is a teaser from the Adorable Nightmares coming from Mini Monster Mayhem next month. This Iron Hive Lord is the final model from the Maker's Cult September set. Coming in October, we have Valor Corps Cavalry, Tempest Legion Troopers, and a couple other fun characters. Katanas and Hexes are what Cyberforge Miniatures has coming for October, some Cyberpunk Street Ninjas, a big guy with a sedan for a shield, and more of the mounted orcs from last month. One Page Rules has previews up for their October armies, with new models coming from the Mummified Undead, the Robot Legions, and the Duchies of Vinci. Miguel from MZ4250 has finally finished updating all their models from the Monster Manual. This week brings in Arcanolith, Mesoloth, Nikoloth, Yugoloths, and Zombies. The extensive October set from Archvillain Games is titled Bloodright, Red Rain, with a host of vampires from bats to nobles, led by Lilith, the first Blood Daughter, as well as several adventurers from their Archvillain Society. Titanforge has full previews up for their October Animal Folk set. The Gloomvale Woods is brimming with animal adventurers and an army of minotaurs, as well as Titans of Adventure Series 17. That's all for now. Huge thanks to my patrons on Patreon. Your support really means a lot to me. If you happen to run one of the campaigns I share here regularly, then do me a huge favor and share my Kickstarter with your followers. I really want to expand this channel into a website and more, and your help would be super appreciated. Thanks to everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.